Hey, it's so wonderful to be here. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests, and brothers and sisters. And that's how we come together to do what we've got to do. And shout out to the table over there, to all the crew there, and to Brad, counterpart. So great. Thank you, one and all. It's really great. And to Jim, and to Fiona. It's really important to be acknowledged. Thank you so much, Music Vic, for undertaking this big step forward for all of us. And I think it means a lot. And I think a lot of willingness and a lot of forethought had gone into placing things where they need to be strategically placed. I think one of the good things about what it is that we do is changing perceptions about where we are and who we are. I think one of them things that's really good about where people come from is always good to tell that story through music, song and dance. Songlines foray into being where it is today, 30 odd years in the making, set up primarily in its functionality to support First Nations artists to undertake and take stepping stones into moving them out of cyclable interchange, poverty, all of the above, and use to face similar journeys in your own lives too as well. I think where we sit now, we sit at a really kind of precipice in deciding where we're going to go from here. I was at a meeting last night talking about AI centres and whatnot, a Fitzroy Community Arts Centre. And one of the things that struck me was it's the conglomerate world that we live in. So it's about people like you challenging and shifting those paradigms and to not being able to sit back and take it, right? And that's lining everything up because we're all foot soldiers, right? So that just means that we have an opportunity to change, to interact with one another, more so, as Bryce put it, off your phones, off your PCs and whatnot, to meet, interact, and do those things that force change. Government, state or federal, are following their own rules. But what's really, really clear to me in conversations, I know talking to Jim, in his capacity as chairperson of Music Vic, is there are many interchangeable parts. Would you not agree, Jim? You agree. So, having said that, there's this kind of really innate possibility that we can really alter that change and force that change to be really, really important. On the political level, no one's taken any notice. But come on the footpath, that's where the notice is really taken up. And that's where people like yourselves, as musicians, as singer-songwriters, as practitioners, as CEOs or whatever, managers, whatever you do. And it's good to see you, Dale. Haven't seen you for ages. And it's that vibe, saxophone vibe, mate. So it's kind of like really, really, really important to strike a blow to what all of the good work that you do, Fiona, and in your organisation. And to shout out to Bad Apples too as well, and to Adam, all the great work that you've done and getting that message out across to people, and to Sony and others. And there's a little thing that's kind of escaped me, but I'll kind of mention it because it's worth mentioning, is that it's a clear message out to those that if you think and feel that you're being trodden on, find somebody else to talk to, because I've seen so many people walking around really depressed, and it's sad. So organisations like Support Act really do amazing work. Festivals, sister girl there. Those moments that are treasured. I'm digressing now because I'm thinking of something shit to say. And but I think, for the most part, where I come from here, and I can feel myself, being really aligned with how you feel about yourself and what's important. You play music because you do music, and music is interchangeable. Many moving parts of music globally, from the first sound, the first light. So that songline is resonating globally at a speed that's so unbelievable. So we can now rest assured that there will be change on a state and federal level. But there's a gaping hole. I was in Canberra a couple of weeks ago. I was in the belly of the beast and the den of iniquity, talking to politicians that just weren't listening. Some you need to really, not physically, but mentally challenge, to look at where and how that foreseeable future is balanced. That gaping hole is philanthropy. And I think if we don't challenge that, then it's going to be, a sad state of affairs, because we know where the dollars and the cents are going, and it's not in your pocket, all right? And it's not in musicians' pockets. And this is a metaphor for many things. But I think philanthropy, speaking with so many First Nations people, to the Minister of Charities, Andrew Lee, saying, look, mate, the clever side of the coin is that if you're willing to dance with the people are willing to dance with you. But you've got to play the game. And that means, philosophically, that it will happen, but it's about the change that you people exert, every single one of you in this room, about what that space and how that will open up. Because the federal level, they'll only come to your rescue when it's something in it for them, same with the state. I don't mind saying that. I couldn't care less. The thing that I do care about are you people and our constituents that matter, the foot soldiers on the ground, the ones that count. You count. And so that's where I'm invested in. I have a vested interest, all of myself and my being and my spirit. So if there's anybody wants to challenge that, you can go right ahead. And now I'm talking about state and federal. So I'm getting emotional now, aren't I? I just have to relax a bit. But I think I'm going to finish up very shortly, but I'll leave you with this. I think it's really, and I've got to say, I didn't even mention you, brother. Thank you. I find you really, you've got a great heart. But I want to leave you with this. So it's, in all seriousness, there's many challenges that we face, and I think from just looking at you guys and what you're doing and where you come from and how you placate yourself and how you do things, it's really important to know you find that camaraderie, and you find friendship, and you find heart, and you find spirit of art and the goodwill of intent. And that goodwill of intent will follow you through all for the rest of your life, guaranteed. But it's up to you to enforce it yourself. So that way, if everybody's thinking similar or feeling similar, then the changes are monumental. And we will achieve that. There's no doubt in my mind. We've just got to be a little bit more pragmatic, sensible, offer opinion about what's important to talk about. And I know from Brad, Brad's over there, he's General Manager of Songlines. We often sit and talk about where we're going to go next. And it's good, Cherie, to have you here too from Kindred. And all of you here, thank you so much for having me here and speaking. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Uncle Robbie. Thank you for the for the ongoing and extraordinary leadership of Songlines as well.